The HR Doom, kind of disappointing, honestly. Fast and sweet. It clocks in at 3.56 ounces. It is made of 7075 aluminum and 14C28N blade steel. It says in this really awkward to read font, but I am also looking at an Instagram post which says the specs. I needed to do that in order to check the price. And the price new was $179. And frankly, you can get better knives for that money. It's not bad. Its construction is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. But let's go over what we have here. You have some texturing in here. You can kind of feel it. It's not uncomfortable. It's just not something I prefer, but I'm not really knocking that. And the blade looks pretty nice. It is a false live blade, so it will not hurt you. And this tip is very, very rounded, so it's not it's not fun to get like this dropped on you, but it's not gonna cut anything. So for a false live blade, that's like not a terrible price. There are certainly like Nibali's prices that are better. Like this clocks in at $140 for the wing. The Hydra is also about 140. And so yeah, and there are other companies that do false lives as well, like the GN, the aluminum GN by Log Designs. I want to say it was like well, I don't know. I don't know what its retail price was, but I got it for I think around 160. So it's maybe around more than that. So like 180 for a false live blade, it's not bad. It's reasonable. But let's talk about the HR Doom. Right now, it's got 8 T8 hardware for the pivot screws and T6 for the Zen screws. It was actually a little loose. I'm not like I prefer press fit Zen screws, but like it's not a big deal. The tune here, it's okay. It's totally acceptable, but I certainly feel it doesn't feel as responsive to me in fans. Speaking of fans, this balance is handle bias. It can fan okay, but I just find that like fanning can be a little bit wobblier, and the texture, while grippy on the handles, is just nothing that I really like. It doesn't feel super nice to fan. I feel like there's not a ton of blade weight. When I do like a full twirl, it doesn't feel like the blade kind of has any lead to it. Oopsies. And rollovers, again, it does not really feel like the blade has any lead. It is certainly more of a handle weighted knife. And I don't know much about blade steels. I've never heard of, what was it, 14C28, and it also kind of looks like a 020. But it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the cutout, the blade cutout. Maybe it's the blade steel. It's just not that heavy. And like 3.56, you could definitely be a little heavier. Like if it was more blade weight to counteract these handles, or less handle weight, I don't know. Handles do have an interesting looking speed channel. That's cool and unique, but frankly, that's kind of the only thing that I feel like really it has going for it. The speed channel, there's a little bit of a ring to it, mostly when the blade hits the Zen pin, but not for closing. Jimping technically exists, but it's not nearly enough. It is very shallow and not deep enough. I want my jimping at least ideally down here. And it being aluminum, I don't know. It's like it's slightly more on this side, but on this side there's like, what is it, 4, 5, 6 lines? Okay, but they're really small lines too. And so like when I'm doing ladders, I'm usually at least down here. So unfortunately, this groove doesn't really prevent it from like slipping out of my fingers. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have strong feelings about this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's fine. I definitely just think that there are better things for your price. HR is a Chinese maker, has also made the Rich, which I technically own one, but it has just been in mod work forever. I need to follow up with that guy actually, because he said he would get it done last weekend. And then and he's currently making a new knife called the Verdict, which has like a Christian cross on it, which I don't know what that's about really. Do not get that confused though with the M3K or M Meek. It's Miiik. So I think it's M3K Verdict. So there's another battle song called the Verdict, and HR is making a different battle song also called the Verdict. Likewise, LDY is producing the Corvus for Sharp Flippy Boys, the one that I reviewed. But LDY has their own battle song called the Corvus, and I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. So that's annoying and dumb. But that's a dumb aside. And frankly, the dumb aside I feel like was there's just not that much to say about the Doom. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. It comes at least in several colors. Black, a nice bright blue, and a nice bright red. It's like a sort of a royal blue. It's not dark, but it's nice and bright. Cobalt? I don't know. The red's also really bright. So it looks decent. It's safe. And if you want a really safe fake knife, this one is a really safe fake knife with no risk of, hurting anyone. If you're into that, So my hair is fucked up. I really, really wish I had more to say about the Doom, but without mincing words, I don't. It's not that interesting. The only thing it really has going for it is that it looks nice in bright colors, which this is not. It has some, I don't know, gothic font that makes it look like that's supposed to be an R. Yeah, it looks like a Q. It's HR Doom, and I don't know. And the speed channel is kind of cool looking, but it's kind of all I really have to say, unfortunately. So I don't know. You could probably find one secondhand for 100 or so. That's how much I'm selling this for. And with that, I guess thanks for tuning in. This has been my official review of the HR Doom, of which to say there's not much to say. It's just a little disappointing. That's really it.